E3 partners educated church and community leaders and support groups on COVID-19 prevention. Social distancing and hand washing can be a real challenge to families living in cramped homes with only 1 or 2 rooms. Some families have a shared toilet and tap, and many have no facilities at all. There has also been much fear of COVID-19 and in some places misinformation about how it spreads. Empowering people with the right information and encouraging them to share their learning with others is vital in helping stop COVID-19 from spreading. Support groups and young people have been working so hard to sew masks to give out or sell at cost to help protect people from COVID-19. One example is the young women on the Jabulani Foundation Skills Development Programme in Zithulele in South Africa. When lockdown happened, Jabulani really wanted to show care for the community. So the girls learned how to sew and make the masks, to sell at cost, to make them accessible to everyone. Dancing, crying with joy, or utterly lost for words. These are just some of the reactions from families who received food parcels during lockdown. Many depend on daily sales from street stalls to survive. Those who are living with HIV need regular meals for their medication to be effective. And grandmothers suddenly needed to provide food for children who would normally eat their only meal at school. The soap and washing up bowls are enabling people to wash their hands regularly and easily. E3 partners are also supporting people emotionally and spiritually as they ask about people's needs and share words of encouragement when they visit.
So this is the difference that your investments make. This is the family of, let me just consult Granny and find out. 18 grandchildren.
COVID-19 did not spare the children that are living on the streets. They are already vulnerable to so many forms of abuse. And when COVID-19 regulations came through, which saw the nation getting to lockdown on the 31st of March 2020, some of the rules that were set up was that no person should be seen around the streets, and these children that are living on the streets did not have a home to go to. Therefore, they were abused in so many ways. They did not have food because all businesses was closed. They also faced police and soldier brutality while trying to fend for themselves. Scripture Union responded by placing these children in holding centers. We worked with the government and other stakeholders to do so. At the centers, we managed to offer counseling, spiritual support, medical support, and any other need that any child could need. And the children were excited that at least they could have a place where they can wash, where they can have proper meals, and at least have somewhere where they can rest and play whatever game they wanted to play at those centers. So our aim was to get them also to be reunified with their families, and we worked on making sure that they are reunified. About 75% of these children that we placed at the holding centers were reunified with their families, and some that could not be reunified were placed in alternative care. We continue to monitor these children in their various districts and provinces so that they remain at home and they do not, there is nothing that asks them to get back to the streets.
The girl pictured here in the black top and striped skirt was reunified with relatives. They say she is adjusting well and settling and is happy to be home. Scripture Union will visit regularly to support that precious family.
Hello, my name is Audrey Matinello, the Executive Director of Zumelo Foundation. To date, we've managed to mobilize people in rural communities. 4,530 people have come together. They meet in self-help groups weekly. So in the self-help groups, it's a way to train them on how to start savings, and from the savings they're able to take out small loans of which they invest in their small businesses of sewing, agriculture, buying and selling, renting, different kinds of small businesses that they come up with. But other than just looking at for economic development and economic activities, they also do social projects. With the social projects, they care for orphans, they also care for the sick. We are so grateful for E3 to support us. So with the impact of COVID-19, the small businesses have really been affected. They haven't been able to trade as usual, they haven't been able to restock. So with the support of E3, we were able to start recapitalizing the small businesses. We started with face masks, so we gave businesses to the women that are doing sewing, and so they made more than 1,000 face masks, which we've distributed to members of their households that are benefiting from the social projects of the self-help groups as well as the clusters. So the women were able to make an income, while at the same time the vulnerable groups, especially the elderly and the children, were provided with face masks. We've now gone further beyond just bringing understanding of the COVID, the disease and the impact that it has on individuals and households. We are now training on recapitalizing. How do they start again their businesses? How do they live again? How do they run the social projects again in the face of COVID? So we are investing our time and also the finances that we get, or the monies that we get from E3 into training the businesses so that they can restart again. So those that are running tax shops, we are restocking with the resources that they need and also helping them on how best to run them. We also have those that are running events, and we are so grateful to E3 for helping us support a group with a mobile fridge. So with the mobile fridge, they're able to hire it out during events and raise more money. So thank you so much for supporting us to support the vulnerable amidst the impact of COVID-19. Thank you, E3. We are so grateful.